It's Friday, and we have another jam-packed show for you. We're going to recap last night's Jets-Patriots matchup, and then it's Pick'em Friday. I will give you my picks for the 5 most important, most intriguing college football games for Week 12, and I will give you my picks for all the NFL games coming up Sunday, and Monday night. So, here we go with Pick'em Friday. Now, in the Total Sports Ozone. Big O with the big mouths in the Total Sports Ozone for Friday, November 14th, 2025. I can't believe it's Friday already. Man, where does the time go? It just flies by. It just seemed like yesterday I was doing a Monday show. But time waits for no man, I guess. So let's get right into it and waste no more time. Last night, Jets-Patriots got it on in Foxborough, and it went as pretty much as I expected, except the Patriots got off to a rather slow start. It was 7-0 Jets in the first quarter for the longest. But then in the second quarter, Patriots said, all right, that's enough of this shit. We about to show y'all who we are. Rattled off 14. I believe they rattled off 21 unanswered points before the Jets scored a touchdown in the third quarter. And they pretty much won the Patriots won the game comfortably by a final score 27-14. Patriots are now 9-2 and have a 2-game lead on the Buffalo Bills. Actually, they have pretty much a 3-game lead on them, but they did beat them once. So, my question to you, everybody out there, does the AFC go through New England now? Like it did back in the 2010s, 2000s, and the 2010s? Does the AFC or the path to the Super Bowl, excuse me, from the AFC go through the Patriots? I don't see why it wouldn't. But you also got to worry about those Indianapolis Colts, like I said in the previous show. You got to worry about the Colts, the Denver Broncos. If they can get their offense back on track, you would have to worry about them because out of the 3, I said the Broncos, Patriots, and the Colts. The Broncos have the best defense. Their defensive front line is no joke. No joke. Brian Batonio, and then I think they got another. I believe they lead the league in sacks. So while the New England Patriots are just handling business, this is their 8th game in a row they won. So they're handling business. No doubt about that. But they have had some close calls. No, let's not get that twisted. They have had close calls. They only won by 1 point against Atlanta at home, and they held on and winning a banged up Tampa Bay team in Tampa Bay. Again, another stat I got to tell y'all. New England's one of 2 teams, but one of only 2 teams. The Seahawks is the other team who have yet to lose on the road. They're, I believe, either 4-0 or 5-0 on the road. They've yet to lose away from Foxborough. So, again, does the AFC go through New England this year? It could. But I know they've been winning, but they've been winning so-so. I think they've been winning so-so lately. They beat a bad Browns team. They beat a bad Falcons team. They beat a bad Jets team last night. They beat a bad Dolphins team. They've been beating bad teams. But then again, that's what you're supposed to do. If you're considering If you're considered to be a playoff contender, a Super Bowl contender, a championship type of team, you're supposed to beat up on the weak teams, aren't you? You're not supposed to lose to the likes of the Browns, the Falcons, the Jets. You're not supposed to lose to those teams if you are considered by many of the pundits and analysts and critics as a playoff team, Super Bowl caliber team. So I can't use that excuse. Oh, they haven't played. Not in the NFL. We use that excuse a lot in college football. We're not going to use that excuse here in the NFL because in the NFL, it's an any given Sunday league. Any given Sunday, a weak team could pick off a team that's supposed to be a playoff contender, a Super Bowl contender. That happens every week. It happens every week. The Dolphins picked off the Bills last week. Beat them up pretty bad. So we're not going to use the excuse that the Patriots really haven't played anybody. Doesn't matter. This is the NFL. This ain't college football. You win. You beat the teams you're supposed to beat. That you're vastly superior over. You're supposed to beat them. Whether you beat them by 1 point or 30 points. I've always said in the NFL, style points don't matter. Don't matter. All that matters is, did you get the win? Did you win more games than the other team? That's how you get in the playoffs in the NFL. Ain't no committee. Ain't none of that. New England maybe win ugly. They can win pretty. Either way, they win. They're 9-2. Stats don't lie. And they winning any way they need to win to get the job done. So yes, I can rightfully see how the AFC or the path to the road to the AFC might go through New England. But again, you got to worry about those Indianapolis Colts with Daniel Jones and Jonathan Taylor and them boys. You have to worry about them. You can't forget them. Like I said, Jonathan Taylor should be one of the leading candidates, if not the leading candidate, for AFC Offensive Player of the Year. Maybe even NFL Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, if he stays healthy, I would not be shocked in the least if Jonathan Taylor totes for 2,000 yards this year. The Denver Broncos. Other three teams that we're talking about, they have the best defense. They need to get their offense together. They need to get their offense. They need to put up more. They got to put up more than 17, 20 points a game if they want to have a realistic shot at going to the Super Bowl. This little 17, 13, 15, no, that's not going to get it, especially when you get in the playoffs. So Bo Nix, the boy, they got to get Cortland Sutton. They got to get on. They got to get it right. But I can see again how the path to the AFC can go through New England. I can see that. Drake May, he's having a wonderful year. He's having a year I don't think any of us expected. None of us expected Drake May to be doing what he's been doing. He's doing it. Last night, 281 yards, 1 touchdown. Only was sacked once, no turnovers, and a rating of 107.6. That's solid. That's solid quarterback numbers. That's numbers you would take any day of the week and twice on Sundays from your QB1. He had good touch on his throws. He hit open receivers. He even hit receivers that weren't too open. And he just masterfully took the team downfield when they needed to. And now they got a running game as well with Travion Henderson. He only had 62 yards on 19 carries, but he did score 2 touchdowns. So now that New England, Drake May, now they're developing a running game, this team could be awfully dangerous in the playoffs. Awfully dangerous. And I don't care about if they get home field, how the weather. Don't worry. No, I don't care about the weather, how the weather going to affect, because the teams that they're going to be trying to get with, play in cold weather except Indianapolis. And if you can run the ball the way Indianapolis Colts run the ball, you can win in cold weather. We all know in the NFL, especially in the northern cities, you better be able to run the ball. Throwing the ball is at a premium, but running the ball is a requirement, especially in the wintertime in the NFL playoffs, in those northern cities with the open air stadiums. You better be able to run the ball. And Jonathan Taylor is probably the best running back right now. So the weather is a wash. But if New England can develop a running game, and they're slowly getting to that point, they can be dangerous. They can be dangerous come playoff time. There's no doubt about that. So my answer is, to the question, does the AFC run through New England? Not yet. Not yet. I still lean in Indianapolis because of their run game. I can't lean New England, even though New England's right there with the Colts, with the Broncos. But I have to lean toward the Colts. They have the better running game. But Patriots 8 in a row. Can't argue with the stats. Can't argue with the record. They're 9-2 for a reason. They make plays. They're making the plays that win games. That's what they're doing. And and I'm pretty sure New England fans, I'm pretty sure New England fans thought it would take a while to, come back from the days of Belichick and Brady, because last 2 years they were terrible. Everybody knew that. Last 2 years the Patriots were terrible. And then got the quarterback, got him on the right page, found a running back in the draft. It's amazing how it just turned around just like that. Just like that. Especially when you got a good quarterback and a good head coach. Mike Vrabel, he should get a whole lot of votes for Coach of the Year. What he did with the Patriots. Considering the legacy he had to follow with Belichick, Brady, and all that. If he wins the division, definitely Mike Vrabel's Coach of the Year. There's no doubt about that. Not in my eyes. If he can hang on and have the Patriots win the AFC East, Coach of the Year. Lock it down, write it down, take it to the bank, or take it to wherever you deposit your money. Mike Vrabel will be the NFL's Coach of the Year if they hang on to this lead in the AFC East. I'm sure of that. 27-14, the final. The Jets, what you say? Like I said, they beat Cleveland because Cleveland gets in their own way. When the Jets are playing a team that doesn't get in their own way, they win. They have no chance. Justin Fields only threw for 116 yards. He had a touchdown, but them numbers was pedestrian. He was also their leading rusher with 67 yards and scored a touchdown. Justin Fields was their offense, and that's a problem. That is a problem. But yes, they were missing some players. Garrett Wilson is on IR and the like, and missing a couple of other players. So you really didn't have any much hope of the Jets winning this game. They kept it competitive for about a half. For about the first half, they kept it competitive, but they didn't have enough juice. They banged up. They got rid of some of the great players at the trade deadline, some of the better players. Everybody knows the Jets just riding this out. If they can get a win here or there, fine. But they know they're just riding this out. They're just riding the season out. So I don't think this was the greatest test for the New England Patriots. But like I said earlier, when you're considered to be a championship contender, playoff contender, Super Bowl contender. These are teams you're supposed to smash. You're supposed to smash. You're vastly superior to your opponent. You're supposed to let them know how vastly superior. And you do that on the field. And that's what New England does. They beat teams they are better than. Every team's supposed to do that if you're supposed to be a contender. So we ain't gonna go down that road and complain about, oh, the Jets ain't nobody. We all know that. What New England supposed to do? Lose? What, purposely lose to them? Nah. You still gotta play it to win it. And that's what the Patriots doing. They're just doing what you're supposed to do. Beating teams you're supposed to beat. And whether it's by 131 or 151, as long as you get the dub. It's the NFL. It's not college football. Patriots 27, Jets 14. Jets are now 2-8. New England's 9-2. So that's the small recap of last night's Thursday night game between the Jets and the Patriots. Big O with the big mouth and the Total Sports Ozone. Now it's time for Pick'em Friday, where I make my picks in college football and the NFL. Again, I will pick from the 5 most important, most intriguing college football games of Week 12. 5 of them. That always will be one of the teams will be ranked in the current college football playoff top 25. That's how I'll do it now. We will pick all 5 of the games I pick, or possibly 6, will have at least one player that is currently ranked in the most recent college football playoff rankings. So again, I picked against the spread. I'm not gonna mention here what sports book or betting service that I use to use my to see the odds and the over under. I'll just let you know I pick against the spread and I pick the over under. So here we go. My first, this is the college football week 12. 5 games. First, this is a big one. This is probably an eliminator game for one of these teams. Eliminator means you could be eliminated from the college football playoff if you lose. And game I'm talking about is Notre Dame, who was ranked number 9, traveling to Pittsburgh to take on 22nd ranked Pittsburgh Panthers. Notre Dame is favored in this game by 12.5 with an over and under of 53.5. This matchup intrigues me. Yes, Notre Dame has been on a roll since they lost to Texas A&M. I think they won 8 straight, 7, 8 straight. They got themselves right back into the college football playoff mix. But they still lost 2 games. I know they might be quality losses, one to Miami, one at home to Texas A&M, but they still lost 2 games. And in my eyes, if I'm reading the playoff committees right, where they have been, you can't lose 3. And this game intrigues me. I know there's been talk with that at a press conference, Pittsburgh Panthers coach, not Jack Narduzzi, whatever his name is. He said something about, they can beat us 100 points by 10. It's still not going to run thing. Well, I think he was just saying that just to barter a little fun and clowniness to the media. He knows how important this game is. And if he don't, you better ask somebody. He knows this is a very important game. This game right here, if Pittsburgh beats Notre Dame, gonna raise a whole lot of eyebrows. Plus, it's gonna put them back in the mix. It'll put them squarely in the mix for the college football playoff, and it could knock Notre Dame out of it. But they're not gonna let an independent who doesn't go to a conference championship game. They're not gonna let Notre Dame in with 3 losses. I don't care who they lose to. They're not gonna let Notre Dame in with 3 losses. So this is an eliminator game for Notre Dame. And I believe they know that, and I believe Pittsburgh knows that, which is why I'm wondering why the spread is so high. Yes, I know Pittsburgh lost in the backyard brawl to West Virginia. They ain't no scrubs. Pittsburgh is not any scrubs, especially at home. And this is probably going to be the biggest game Pittsburgh played in the last two or 3 years at home. Now, my take on this is, like I said, Notre Dame's been on a roll. Been on a roll. Beat USC. That's probably their biggest win of the year. So they need this game not only to show the committee, oh yeah, we on the come up. We need to stay right where we're at in the top 10 in the college football playoff rankings, but they need to win just to keep themselves afloat in the college football playoff rankings. Like I said, they lose 3 games, bye-bye. And we all know it. They're gone. This is a very important game for both teams. Now, my pick on this is I haven't seen enough of Pittsburgh. I really haven't. I haven't seen enough of Pittsburgh to mirror how they look on offense, on defense. I've seen enough of Notre Dame to know they've been kicking ass lately and taking name, numbers, and dates. They know they had to though. And a lot of those games they've been playing against somebody. Let's face it, they've been playing against somebody who really ain't got much punch in the mouth, especially at home. That's when they play them at home. So in that realm, I'm going to take Notre Dame to win, but with a 12.5-point spread, I don't trust that. I take Pittsburgh to cover. Pittsburgh will cover the 12.5-point spread, but I'll take Notre Dame to win this probably by a touchdown. 6, 7 points, somewhere in that league. With an over-under 53.5, I don't trust neither one of these teams' defense, so I'll take the over at 53.5. So, again, Notre Dame will win. Pittsburgh will cover the 12.5-point spread. That's Big O's take. That game is scheduled for 12 noon Eastern, straight up. I think ESPN Game Day going to be there. Why, I don't know. But they're going to be there. So this is a big game, probably one of the biggest games Pittsburgh has seen on the college football scene in a long time. 12 noon, Saturday. Again, I got Notre Dame to win, Pittsburgh to cover. Next, got a couple more good ones. Yeah, we do. Another good one in the Big Ten. This is probably an eliminator too. We got number 21 Iowa coming off a really, really heartbreaking loss at home to Oregon, traveling out to Southern Cal to play USC in Los Angeles. You got Southern Cal favorite in this game by 6.5 with an over under 48.5. Iowa's offense, I'm not going to say it's going to give you 40, 50 points a game, but it's a hell of a lot better than it's been in the last couple of years. I guarantee that. It is one hell of a lot better than it has been the last couple of years. But they have to be able to score out here in Iowa and at Southern Cal. They can't just all rely on the defense. A lot of teams going out there at the USC hoping they can slow them down on defense and score just enough, and it hasn't worked. And it hasn't been working. So Iowa has going to have to find a way to put us some points on a consistent basis out here in USC territory. They want to leave out of the Memorial Coliseum with a win. USC, on the other hand, they need this game. They need this game. They've already lost to Notre Dame, so they can't afford another big-time loss to a ranked opponent, especially at home. If they lose this one, season's over for them. No college football playoff, no nothing. Want to know, thank you for playing bowls. So this is another eliminated game. Loser of this game then forget it. Not only you're out in the college football playoff, you're out for the Big Ten. You're just out. You just going one of those. Thank you for playing. Here's your consolation gift bowl. Like the people that don't win on the Price is Right, that's what they get. Parting gifts. That's what's going to happen to the one of these two teams who lose. They both need it. They both know it. Kirk Ferentz always brings the defense. He plays. Kirk Ferentz always has Iowa tough defensively. Always. I mean, they did hold Oregon, high-flying Oregon, to only 18 points. Problem is they only scored 16. Like I said, their offense has come a long way since it has the last couple of years. But it ain't there yet. And I don't think Iowa hasn't going to have enough offense to hang with the USC Trojans in Los Angeles. So I have to go with the USC Trojans, and I'll lay the 6.5. I'm just not sold on Iowa's offense all the way. It's gotten better, but it ain't all the way there yet. Give me USC minus the 6.5, and I'll take the under on the over-under 48.5. Again, that's an eliminator game. Loser, you're out of the playoff hunt. That game is scheduled for 3:30 p.m. Saturday. Next, here's another goodie. Oklahoma, ranked number 11th in the college football playoff, heading to Tuscaloosa. I keep saying that word wrong. Tuscaloosa. To take on number 4, Alabama. Bama's favored by 5.5 with over under 45.5. I want to take Oklahoma. I want to. But I'm not sure about Latir's hand. Has he fully recovered from the bad thumb? I don't know. It doesn't look like. I mean, he's doing okay. But remember, before he hurt his thumb, people were talking about putting him in the Heisman conversation. I mean, he was wheeling and dealing. But ever since then, he's been like, up and down. Okay, that's what he's been like. That's what it's been like for him. So I don't know. I don't know if Oklahoma has the offensive firepower to hang with Alabama in Tuscaloosa. I mean, Kyle Simpson's, he's balling. Williams, he's balling. The only thing that gives me reservation and trepidation about Alabama is the fact that they can't run the ball worth to say they like. But right now, they can't run the ball worth a damn. And that could be exploited come playoff time. The fact that they can't run the ball worth a damn. They really can't. I know they ranked like 60s, 70s, 80s in rushing efficiency. They don't run the ball very well at all. I hope it hasn't come back to bite them in the ass recently. I mean, you can't argue with 4 straight wins against ranked opponents in your conference. So it's not like it's coming back to bite them in the ass. When you play in the playoffs, it could. Alabama needs to establish the run in this game. They need to do it now. And Oklahoma will be a great game for them to try to establish the run. Even though Oklahoma's defense is one of the better ones in the nation, if you can run the ball on that defense, you're on your way. However, I still like Alabama at home. So give me Alabama minus the 5.5 with an over under 45.5. I'm going to go under. I'm going to take the under on the over under. But I like Alabama minus the 5.5. I think just with the firepower with Simpson and Williams, I think that's just going to be too much for Oklahoma to overcome. And I'm just not sure about Latir's hand no more. I'm just not sure about it. Maybe he came back too soon. I mean, he did come back 2 weeks after surgery, and it didn't look good. So I'm wondering if that thumb is still giving him lingering issues. I will know once and for all after this game on Saturday. But for my betting odds, I can take Alabama minus the 5.5. That game is scheduled for 3:30 p.m. Eastern also. We got 3 now, 2 to go. Oh, this is probably the biggest game of the weekend for this weekend, week 12 in college football. You got number 10, Texas, Longhorns, heading to Athens to play the Georgia Bulldogs between the hedges. Georgia coming in ranked 5th. This is an eliminator game for Texas. It's an eliminator. I know there's been so much talk and confab and speculation and rumors and innuendo that if Texas loses this game, that they could, and they beat Texas A&M, which they played the last game of the season, that they can still get in the college football playoffs with 3 losses. Bullshit. Don't believe it. Bull to the shit. Do not believe it. The committee didn't let Alabama in last year with 3 losses. They were one of them. You can say they were all quality losses. Like I went on my rant a couple of days ago. There's no such animal as quality losses. They're still losses. And Texas has 2. One quality loss to Ohio State and one very bad loss to Florida. Now, they have looked better, especially Arch Manning. He has looked a lot better the last couple of weeks. This is Georgia, and this is in Athens. Now, all the pressure is on Texas. They know if they lose this game, their chances of making the college football playoff, you might as well play the lottery. You might have a better chance. You might as well play the Mega Millions tonight or the Powerball, whichever one plays on Fridays. You might have a better chance if Texas loses this game. Like I said, they didn't let Alabama in the 12-team playoff with 3 losses. What makes you think they're going to let Texas in this year with 3 losses? It's not going to happen. I don't care what conference you're affiliated with. You lose 3 games, you're not getting in. You are not getting in. Period. You lost 3 games, especially one to a team that wasn't even ranked, that's not even ranked. You're not getting in. Texas needs this game badly. Georgia can afford a loss. They've already lost one, a quality loss to Alabama. They can lose this game and they'll still get in if they run the table. But they won't have no more room for error. But if Georgia loses this game, they'll still get in. Especially if they beat Georgia Tech on a neutral field the last game of the season. So they'll still get in if they lose this game. Texas is out if they lose this game. They can, I don't care what anybody say, all the critics, the pundits, whatever. You lose 3 games, you're done, son. You're done. You're going to go one of them, thank you for playing, here's your consolation gift bowls. And I think they know that. Will they play like they know they could get eliminated if they don't win this game? That is the question. I'm going with the home team. I know in Georgia is going to do what they've been doing, how they've been playing all year. They're going to hang around. They're going to hang around. And then they're going to hang around some more. And then they're going to hang around. And keep hanging around. Next thing you know, they done got the lead in the 4th quarter. And you look up again, they done won the game. And you wonder, how the hell did they do that? They've been playing all the time. And then what happened? That's Georgia's modus operandi. That's how they win this year. They lure you into a false sense of security by playing wishy-washy, maybe for a quarter and a half of the game. First quarter and a half of the game. They lure you into a false sense of security. And then, bow, bing, bow, game over. You're looking at wondering, how in the hell did they do that? But that's Georgia this year. That's the Georgia Bulldogs MO. And it's been working. I think it'll work tomorrow. Give me Georgia minus the 5.5 over Texas. The over under 49.5. You know what? I'm gonna take the over on this one. I think it's gonna be some fireworks. Georgia's defense ain't what it was. It's not like it was the year they won back to back national titles. They don't have that defense no more. They don't have that. They have that defense that you get that critical stop, but they don't have that dominant defense like they did back a few years ago when they won back to back national titles. So I got the over on this on the 49.5. But I'm gonna take Georgia to win. Minus the 5.5. I think they will win this game and send Texas back to the Longhorn State sweating and fretting. That game is a 7:30 kickoff Eastern time. And we got one more. I want to squeeze in one more. We're going to squeeze in a game of a team that needs a win. Needs one. And that is Virginia. Ranked 19th. They're on the road at Durham to take on the Duke Blue Devils. Now, you were thinking, am you talking about basketball? No, I'm not talking about basketball. I'm talking about football. Both teams are pretty good. Virginia is ranked 19th. Duke is not ranked, but I'm pretty sure they could be ranked if they pull this win out. And Virginia needs this win to stay relevant. And not just in the college football playoff, but in the ACC. They cannot afford to lose this game. They lose this one to an unranked opponent in conference, is curtains for the Cavaliers. They're going to forget about that big win they had against Florida State. They're going to forget. The committee going to forget about all that if they lose this game. It'll be all over. They already got picked off at home by Cal. They can't afford to go on the road against Duke. And Duke's a formidable opponent. Don't get it twisted. Duke ain't no chumps. They are not no chumps. So Virginia got to come with their A game, their B game, and leave the C and D games at home. And they're back. Like I said, this is one of those teams. They're back against the wall. They lose this game, it's all over. It's all over. No college football playoff. Not even the ACC. Not even a surprise trip to the ACC championship game. They need this game. I don't think they're going to get it. I don't think they're going to get it. I don't. I think that loss to Cal might have shook them up a little bit. Give me Duke at home minus the 4.5. Over under 58.5. I don't see neither one of these defenses wowing anybody, so I'll take the over. I think it's going to be a high scoring affair. But I'll take Duke at home minus the 4.5. That's my 5 most important, most intriguing picks for games in college football for week 12. If you got a pick that you don't like, one that you was like, I should be considering, hit me up in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Very much appreciate it. Big O with the big mouth, Total Sports Ozone. Now let's move on to the NFL. We're running short on time here, so we'll try to go through these as fast as I can. So, we're talking about NFL Week 11. Again, using the spread and the over-under. Games for this weekend. We got a first game is an early game in Spain. I think this is the last of the NFL International Series for 2025. And it pits the Washington Commanders playing against the Miami Dolphins. Somebody got to pick this game. Miami's favorite is about 2.5 with over under 47.5. I really don't give a damn about neither one of these teams. They're having a bad season. One, Washington's banged up. Two, the other team, Miami, banged up and infighting, if you want to call it. Yeah, they beat the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, they picked up. Yeah, they got a surprise win against the Atlanta Falcons on the road. It's still garbage. I think those are like anomalies. I think it's still garbage. They are. But for this game, because Washington's so banged up, I can't. I would have to pick the Dolphins on this one. Better running game. A Chain and maybe Tools. Maybe. Just maybe. Tool tackling over might be figuring it out. Just maybe. I still think both teams are garbage. But you gotta pick one. Maybe one garbage team is not as hot garbage as the other. And for this particular meeting, I'm gonna say the Dolphins. And I'll lay away to 2.5. I think the Dolphins will win this one by at least a field goal. Over under 47.5. I'm gonna go under. I don't I don't think either one is gonna set offenses afire. So I'll go to under on the 47.5. Give me the Dolphins minus 2.5. That game is scheduled for 9:30 Eastern. Again, that game is being played in Madrid, Spain. So now next we got Chicago Bears heading to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. We got the Vikings favored by 2.5 with an over under 47.5. This game intrigues me because is Caleb Williams for real? I mean, he has led four-quarter comebacks this year. He even a couple of them on the road. But can he do it again in Minnesota? I don't know. That's the question on why I don't know if I should take the Bears on this one or not. Is Caleb Williams becoming the real deal for the Chicago Bears? I like to think so. I mean, four-quarter comeback, that means he plays to the end. And I like that in the quarterback, playing it to the end. Never quit, no matter what, how bad things are. And he's used to adversity. But you're playing in Minnesota, your defense is so. And J.J. McCarthy and Jefferson, I'm pretty sure they want to get back on track after losing to Baltimore. So I have to take the Vikings at home minus the 2.5. I'll take the Vikings. Over under 47.5. I'm going to take the over on this one. I think it might be a nice little scoring explosion in this one. But I'll take the Vikings at home and I'll lay the 2.5. Again, 1 o'clock Eastern kick. Next, got the Green Bay Packers traveling to the New York Giants. After that loss Monday night, Green Bay Packers in trouble. Let's face it. Let's face it. Packers in trouble. They need to stack some wins. Right now, they're in third place in the NFC North. Looking up at Chicago and they're looking up at Detroit. They need to start stacking some wins. And I guess playing against the Giants with no Jackson Dart, no Cam Scatterboo, no Malik Neighbors, that's a good place to start. But they got to go out there and take care of business. I've heard Jameis Winston will be the starting quarterback over Russell Wilson for the New York Giants in this game. Which means Green Bay is good for at least to get 2 interceptions of Jameis Winston. It's just how Jameis Winston is. He's a interception machine waiting to be turned on. I mean, he's a great guy and all that, but you can write it down. You can lock it down and write it down and pencil it in. You don't even pencil it. You put it in pen that he's good for at least 2 interceptions. Jameis Winston. He's good for 2. And one of those 2, I wouldn't be surprised getting returned all the way back for a touchdown. And it probably make the difference in the winning or losing the game. So I'll take the Green Bay Packers minus the 7.5. I believe the Giants got too many injuries to overcome, and Green Bay has to prove something. They should be out there trying to prove something to somebody, to everybody. that they ain't gone away yet. So I'm gonna take the Packers minus 7.5. With an over under of 43.5, I'm gonna take the under. I'm gonna take the under on this game. That's a 1 o'clock kick as well. Next, got the Carolina Panthers traveling to the ATL to take on the Falcons. Sportsbook says the Falcons are favored by 3.5 with over under 41.5. I ain't buying it. I'm just not buying it. I cannot trust the Falcons. I've learned this year. Hell, I've learned the last few years. You can't trust the Falcons. Because just when, like I said, I've said it before, just when you think the Falcons are turning that corner, just turning that nice little long right turn towards respectability, they take 2 or maybe 3 steps back. And that's what they're doing now. They've lost 3 in a row. And that 3 in a row, 1 blowout loss, and then another. In the last 2 games, they lost by 1 point to New England, and in overtime to the Colts. They're finding ways to lose games. They're losing close games. So I cannot trust the Falcons in a close game, which is why I cannot pick them with such a close spread. I don't trust the Atlanta Falcons in a close game. They'll do something to blow it. And that's been their MO ever since they blew that Super Bowl way back in 2017. They don't know how to finish consistently. And that gives me every reason not to trust them with a close point spread. Give me the dang Panthers. I'll take the 3.5. I think the Panthers will win this by maybe 4 or more points. Over under 41.5. I'll take the over on it. But give me the Panthers plus the 3.5. Just don't trust the Falcons anymore. That game is scheduled for a 1 o'clock kick as well. Big O with the big mouth coming at you. Total Sports Long Zone Pick'em Friday. Well, let's continue. We have the next game of Los Angeles Chargers on the road to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Los Angeles is favored by 3 with over under 43.5. Well, Jaguars are banged up. Travis Hunter's on IR. I think he's going to miss the rest of the season. But I like Trevor Lawrence. I think he's maturing a little bit. He still gets banged around way too much for my liking, but I like him. I think he's maturing. Yeah, he's like Baker Mayfield. He's maturing. He's growing up a little bit, and he has to. That's the only way Jaguars are going to win. He has to grow up. But you got Hubbard. You got all these guys, Keenan Allen. You got all those weapons on the Chargers. How can you not pick them? In this particular setup, I have no choice. I got to go with the Chargers. Minus the 3 with over under 43.5. I'll go under on that one, yeah, ladies and gentlemen. But that should be a good game. Next, got an AFC North battle. Got the Bengals heading to Steel City to take on the Steelers. Steelers are favored by 5.5 with over under 49.5. I want it, as much as I hate the Steelers. I want to pick them in this game, but like I said in earlier broadcasts, which Aaron Rodgers are we going to get? Just don't know from week to week. Which Aaron Rodgers are we set to see? Are we going to see the Aaron Rodgers that Stephen A. says is a bad man? Or are we going to get the Aaron Rodgers we've seen the last couple of games? Or at least last week, where he didn't even look like he wanted to be belonged. He didn't even look like he wanted to be there. Are we going to get that Aaron Rodgers? Or are we going to get the bad man Aaron Rodgers? Or even something close to the bad man? Just don't know. And it's not like they're going against one of the better defenses in the league. Let's face it. Cincinnati defense is poo-poo. Obviously, it's poo-poo when they've lost the last 2 games and given up 39 and what was it, 47 points the last 2 games. So their defense is poo-poo. So this should be a game Aaron Rodgers should feast on. But which Aaron Rodgers are we going to get? As for the Steelers defense, again, same question. Which defense are we going to get? We're going to get the one that shut down, slow down enough to get the win against Indianapolis, or we're going to get that defense we saw last week out there against the Rams? Which defense we going to get? I don't know. And if I don't know, I don't pick you. If I don't know, I don't pick you. And I don't know about this team from week to week. And Pittsburgh is in a must-win. Even though they're leading the division, they're in a must-win because they know who's coming back and who's right behind in their rearview mirror. They know who. They can't afford to take loss, especially divisional losses at home. They can't afford this one. But I'm going to take the Bengals, and I'll give me the 5.5. I just don't trust the Steelers. I don't know what I'm going to get from them from week to week. I take the Bengals. At least I know what I'm going to get from them. Flacco going to wheel and deal. The defense is going to be wishy-washy. But it'll probably be enough for them to get the dub on the road. Give me the Bengals. I'll take the 5.5. Over and under 49.5. I'll take the under on this one. Even though I wouldn't be surprised if they light each other up. But I'll take the under. That game is scheduled 1 o'clock. Next, probably one of the better games of the weekend in the NFL. Got Tampa Bay Bucks traveling to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. Needless to say, both teams need this win. Buffalo needs it way more than Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is still leading their division. Buffalo needs this game to stay on pace with the New England Patriots. They can't drop this one. They cannot afford to drop this game. They do. They'll be almost around 3.5, 4 games back of the Patriots, and they've already lost to them once. Buffalo's in a must-win already. Week 11, they're in a must-win. They gotta get this game. Got to. I say they will. I'll take Buffalo at home minus the 5.5. Josh Allen's gonna have a better performance. I ain't gonna say he's gonna have a world greatest performance. He'll have a better performance he had last week against Miami. He has no choice. Again, I don't know who he's gonna throw the damn ball to on a consistent basis, but he'll figure it out. Give me the Buffalo Bills minus the 5.5. I'll take the over under 46.5. Give me the under. Tampa Bay going up in the cold. Yeah, that'll work. I'll take the under. That game's scheduled for 1 o'clock. Next, got the Texans heading to Tennessee to take on the Titans. With the Texans favored by 5.5, over on 37.5. I think the Titans are in tank mode. Honestly, I just think they're deficient in most areas. I just think they don't have enough. No matter who quarterbacks the Houston Texans, whether it be C.J. Stroud, whether it be whoever, it'll be enough. I think it'll be enough because the Titans they're in tank mode. If they're not, then you don't wonder what the hell they're doing. They've already fired their head coach, so they're on the interim coach. They're just trying to ride this out, and there's a long season left. They got a lot of season left to play. I just think they're going to ride this out. They might give some kind of crazy half-ass effort and make you say, huh? But I ain't going to win the game. Give me Houston minus the 5.5. I'll take the over on the 37.5. That's game scheduled for 1 o'clock. Now we got the late games. Starting off with, there's probably another one. This could be the other big game of the weekend. We got the Seattle Seahawks tied with the LA Rams at 7-2. They're both facing each other in SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. Current line has the Rams favored by 3 with an over-under 48.5. Gentlemen, ladies, this game could go either way. Remember now, I said Seattle is one of two teams in the NFL, the other one being New England, who was yet to lose on the road. This should have been, to me, it should have been a pick 'em. But the LA Rams probably got the most efficient offense of all the teams in the NFC. And their defense ain't too shabby either. You talking about two big time teams meeting. And I believe the Rams already beat the Seahawks once, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So this is a big time game for both teams. Whoever wins this game is going to have not a one, but maybe a 2-game lead, or at least a game lead in the NFC West, and that might be all they need. That might be all they need. Simply because they're at home, I'm going to take the Rams minus the 3. Simply because they're at home. And I go under on the over-under 48.5. That's going to be a good game. I can't wait to see this one. Game scheduled for 4 o'clock Eastern. Next, we got the 49ers heading to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. And the 49ers favored by 3 with an over-under 48.5. It has been rumored that Brock Purdy might start this game. How's he going to look? Is he going to look rusty? Is he going to be off timing with his receivers? How will he play? Is he fully healed? There's a lot of questions to ask about this one. But they are playing the Cardinals, so it's not like they're playing the Eagles on the road or the Rams on the road. They're playing the Cardinals. So this is, if it is any game to try to ease your quarterback who's been on the shelf for the past few weeks back into the game mode, this will be it. I'll take the 49ers minus the 3. I'll take the under on the 48.5. That game scheduled for 4 o'clock Eastern. Next, we got the Kansas City Chiefs heading to the Mile High City to take on the Denver Broncos. Surprisingly, the Chiefs are favored by 3.5. Weird, ain't it? Denver 7-2, Kansas City 5-4. Yet Kansas City's favored by 3.5. So that tells me that the betting public don't believe in the Denver Broncos, at least not yet. Well, this is the game where they can show the betting public and the whole world the Chiefs are done. The Chiefs' time has passed. Here comes the new blood in the AFC West, and it's Denver. They can show that with a win against the Chiefs at home. Do I think it's going to happen? Nope. Don't have enough offense. Give me the Chiefs minus 3.5. Over under 44.5. I'll take the over. I don't believe in, like I said, don't doubt the Chiefs. They're the best until you beat the best. They are the defending AFC champions until somebody knocks them off. Ain't gonna be this week. That is a 4:30 p.m. Eastern kick. Next, we got the Ravens and the Browns. It's in Cleveland. I'm not picking the Browns. Give me the Ravens minus 7.5. This spread could be 50.5. I'm not picking the Browns. I don't trust them. I don't believe in them. They've shown me nothing for me to pick them. I said before, I went on a rant a few days ago. I said I will never pick the Browns again this season. I don't care if they're favored by 1 point, 30 points, or 50 points. Ain't picking the Browns. They showed me no faith. They showed me I should have no faith in them. I'll take the Ravens minus the 7.5. I believe the Ravens probably will blow them out of their own building. Over under 39.5. Give me the under. I'll take the under. Browns will probably be struggling to score 13 points. So that game is scheduled for 4:30. The Sunday night game, another good game. The Detroit Lions heading to Philly to take on the Eagles. We got the Eagles favored by 2.5 with an over under of 46.5. Now, I know there's been a lot of infighting, dysfunctionality with the at the Eagles and AJ Brown bitching and complaining that he ain't getting the ball, he's not getting the targets, and another player bitching he ain't getting the ball, and la da da. But they're still 7-2. They're still 7-2. I wish my team was as dysfunctional as the Eagles, but they were 7-2. 7-2 is 7-2. They winning. They're still winning. Somehow. But they better get on the right page against this squad, the Detroit Lions. You better get on the right page against them. But their offense is no joke. Weapons galore. All over the place. And if the Eagles play like they played against Green Bay, they're gonna get the floor. They're gonna get the floor mold with them and their home stadium. So they better get whatever dysfunctionality and beefing they got going on. They better grill that beef, chop it up, put it on mini plates, and eat it. They cannot play the way they played against Green Bay last week. Not against these boys. And I believe the dysfunctionality is going to cost them in this one. Give me the Lions, and I'll take the 2.5. Over under 46.5, I'll take the over. Give me the Detroit Lions in this one. I know it's an open air game, but Detroit has blown away teams in the open air. The Commanders, the Ravens. So it ain't like they scared to play in open air. Give me the Detroit Lions, and I'll take the 2.5. Thank you very much. And I'll go over on the 46.5. Thank you very much. And the last game of the weekend pits the Dallas Cowboys heading to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. Got the Cowboys favored by 3.5 with over under 50.5. I'm wondering how the Cowboys are going to play in this game after the recent events. You know, the loss of one of their teammates to suicide. I wonder if their heads are going to be in the game enough to take care of business. I know the defense is terrible. We all know that. Well, are they going to be in it offensively? You're playing the Las Vegas Raiders. It's not like they're world beaters on either side of the ball. They're not. So it's not about, how you match up with the Raiders. That's a wash. It's what's going to go up on in here. I mean, one of your teammates is gone. And you played with him just the last game. The last game y'all played. He scored a touchdown on a block punt, and now he's gone. He's gone. I just wonder how it's going to affect him up here. I don't know. I mean, suicides it's a tough pill to try to swallow, especially on a football team when one of your teammates takes his own life. It's been my concern ever since. Ever since I've seen some of the players on the news talk about it and try to bring it up, and I've heard the Cowboys had counselors and whatever, psychologists, counselors on staff to help if any of the players want to talk about it. But will it be enough? How will they be mentally when you got to go out there and win a football game? And they need to win this game, no doubt about it. But will they be ready up here? I don't know. I don't know. I never thought I would do this. I know most people would do this, wouldn't do this, especially if there was real money involved. But out of respect for the Dallas Cowboys and what they've been through, I'm gonna lay off picking this game. I'm gonna lay off of it because I don't think because like I said, I just don't know how the Cowboys mentally will they be ready. I don't know. I mean, that's a punch in the stomach to lose one of your teammates do the way that they lost. It's a punch in the stomach. You know? So out of respect for the Cowboys, I'm not going to make a pick for this game. I'm gonna pick the over under. I think it's going to be under 50, but I will not make a pick for this game. That game is Monday night, 8:15. All right. Well, that's the picks for the NFL Week 11. We in Week 11 already. What do you think? You think I've got some picks wrong? Think I'm out of my mind? Are you thinking he's full of shit? He don't know he don't know nothing about what they pick. Let me know. Drop a comment. Drop a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you like what I'm saying, if you don't like what I'm saying, if you got anything you want to get off your mind about what I've talked about, the picks, just drop a line and I promise I'll get back to you. Oh yeah, don't forget I post clips of all my daily shows to TikTok. So, and I'm working on getting them posted to an Instagram account and my Facebook. And I'm starting a Facebook site, Total Sports Ozone. That will be coming in the coming days and weeks. For now, y'all have a great weekend. Enjoy the football. And I will talk to you Monday for Manic and Panic Monday here in the Total Sports Ozone. Have a great weekend.